Okay, so we're on page 223, and we're going to look at a couple more examples. So example 2, again, this one that's worked out for you. It says find the value of the variable that results in congruent triangles. So essentially what we can do here is, since we're trying to find the value that results in congruent triangles, is we can assume the triangles are, in fact, and if we assume the triangles are congruent, that tells us all corresponding sides are the same. And we can kind of see that from the diagram, right? There's one side that has 2 hash marks through it. There's another side that has a single hash mark. And then the third side has 3 hash marks. But even if those weren't given, we could kind of just assume that in this problem, since just the way the instructions are given. So therefore, we want to find, in this problem, we want to solve for x. That's the variable in this problem. So angle P is 5x plus 30. And angle P in this problem is equal or congruent to angle L. Again, these instructions are below, but angle L, we can find the measure of angle L because recall in an earlier section of geometry, you know that the 3 interior angles of a triangle add up to 180. So that means to find angle L, you can set it up as 55 plus 45 plus x, or plus the measure of angle L equals 180. You can add your like terms together. The 55 plus 45 gives you 100. And then subtract 100 from both sides and find that the measure of angle L equals 80 degrees. So that means the measure of angle P also equals 80 degrees. Which means to solve for x, we're going to set 5x plus 30 equal to 80. I'm going to subtract 30 from both sides and then divide both sides by 5. So x equals 10. Okay, let's look at one more example together. So same instructions, we want to find the value for y in this problem. That's the variable. And we're going to just walk through the way the book has this set up. It says step 1, identify corresponding sides, beginning with side DE. Well, in this problem, we know that angle A is congruent to angle D, because they both have the one, instead of a hash mark for angles, they kind of just used a curved mark. So angle A and angle D are congruent. Angle B has 3 curved marks on it, so it's going to be congruent to angle E. And then process of elimination, C has 2 curved marks on it, so it's going to be congruent to angle F that also has 2 congruent marks on it. So that means segment DE is going to be congruent to segment AB. So think about angle A is congruent to angle D, and angle B is congruent to angle E. So since we know DE is congruent to AB, that means we know segment DE also has to equal 36 millimeters. But they also tell us in this problem segment DE is equal to 2y plus 20. So what we can do is we can substitute 2y plus 20 in for segment DE, and then just solve for y. Subtract 20 from both sides and divide both sides by 2 to get your answer of 8. So I want you to go to the next page, page 224, and I want you to do problem 7, and then press play, and then I'll go over the answer, and then I will pause and give you some more time to do number 8. But pause this video, and I will work through number 7 here in about 5 seconds. So we know in this problem the measure of angle B is equal to the measure of angle E, because that's the way the triangles are set up. Before we can solve for x, we need to figure out what the measure of angle B is. So we're going to use the triangle sum theorem. There's 180 degrees inside a triangle. So that means the measure of angle B plus 112 plus 25 have to equal 180. So this means the measure of angle B is equal to, let's see, what is that, 43 degrees? I think I have that right. So that's the measure of angle B. So that means we can set x plus 17 equal to 43 degrees. Since those are different ways to represent the same measurement. So x plus 17 equals 43. Subtract 17 from both sides, and we get 26. Again, pause the video and try number 8. So again, we know from this problem, JK is equal to MN. We know MN is 32, so that means JK is also equal to 32, which means by substitution, 4y plus 12 equals 32. Subtract 12 from both sides, divide by 4, y is equal to 5.